So we're here in West Waterford on part of planned new section of St Declan's Way, and St Declan's Way is one of Ireland's oldest pilgrimage routes. It grew out of the community, Mrs Lincoln's researches and Dick Lincoln's researches and efforts in the fields, and it's been going a long time now, and it kind of pointed the way towards walking routes and greenways and all that kind of thing, and it was well ahead of its time. And this is the kind of amazing place that you can visit when you come on St Declan's Way. This old boreen, I think there was a homestead in here on the left, and this stone-lined boreen was made, I'd say all the stones were gathered from the fields here, was made by manual labour, but it's leading us up to a holy well that we're doing a small bit of work on with the local community, and just want to go in and see the place. So this is Toor Holy Well. It's one of the most used of the holy wells in West Waterford. Olive Keane did a book on the holy wells of West Waterford a few years ago, and this one is dedicated to St Declan, but it has a very strong living element to it today. We were here about 3 weeks ago with a community group, and we were all standing here, and a family came in from South Kilkenny, and they came to get the holy water. The 26th of July, St Declan's feast day, there's a massive gathering here. There's mass set up on top of this structure, and it's so unusual with all this concrete elements, but it's a kind of a living, it represents how living it is. What they've built is, this is the holy well proper. All the groundwater flushes out of the hillside here, and by digging a hollow or a trough, it fills with water. That pours off down through there. There's another little trough inside there, and that's a bathhouse equivalent. So people who want to treat illnesses that relate to their skin or to blood flow and things, they'll sit in there in privacy. And then they built a wee altar, or there's a mass house in a sense up on top of the bathhouse. So you can tell, like, it's all concrete made, concrete blocks, very vernacular. Statue of crucifixion, an altar dedicated to a lady who I think supported the traditions here very well. And in the well itself, statue of Our Lady and a statue of St Declan. So Declan is a very strong living tradition of a saint. And there's a quote here from Canon Power. No other saint, no Irish saint has perhaps so strong a local hold as Declan, or has left so abiding popular memory. And that's what you're seeing here today, the building of the concrete elements to the place. They're very 20th century, but they're also representing what this place means to the community. This oratory or a church is now used as a store, but you can see it's failing. You can see that the concrete on it has failed, and there's a problem there for that. What's going to be done? She's cracked all the way through here around, and there's more cracks there and so on. That side too. The pulpit, concrete. You can see a priest standing there and preaching, or else you'd have multiple priests saying mass up here in St Declan's Day. The altar table, I'm told, came from some other ecclesiastical context. Did somebody say Cappoquin, or did somebody say Mount Mellery? But there's a lot going on here, and the place needs a little bit of TLC, and the community is very bought in terms of what they want to do for that. So there's a challenge of the aesthetics of the place. And we're hoping a conservation architect will look at it for us and get a feel for it and come up with recommendations that will be sensitive to the conservation of the place. And then also there's a challenge to the actual physicality of it. You can see this concrete work is all perishing and so on. So it does need expertise to come on board and to look at it, the old iron gate. So we're seeing local builders, we're seeing blacksmiths, the corrugated iron that's in use there, that's probably as old as the whole structure, because the formwork was done with corrugated too. I don't know a huge amount about bathhouses or about holy wells, but the fact that this has this little privacy cubicle here, that's the water in there, and you can sit, take off your shoes and socks, roll up your trousers, and you can wash your legs, let's say, if you had a sore or a pain or whatever. And you can see the votive offerings that are left here, and a rag bush here. Variety of masks, small little items. Like I say, the community are very attached to the place, and they tell us that there's visitors here every day, and including people who come from very far afield. It's really a hillside, marshy area. You can see the groundwater is seeping out there, and by digging the trough you end up with a well. The RMP says that the devotion to this place got really strong, probably from the 1850s, but I suspect it could be even older than that, or it should be. Waterford's collection of holy wells is very strong. And this whole area is, the place names all tie back into, from here back into Clashmore, all tie back into a monastic structure. So Clashmore and Ardmore further afield to the south are all key parts of the medieval landscape that was here. So that was the Boreen. We came up, that's being developed for St. Declan's Way, and this is the access here then, current entrance. So parked out there, concrete paths, gravel paths coming in. It's smaller than I thought it was going to be, but when we met here we had 15 odd local families or local individuals with us, representing the strength of engagement with the place. Forestry plantation to the side. Some of the trees in the field bank have fallen down into the boggy area, so we need a bit of biodiversity into the place as well, and an opinion from somebody who knows about those things. Fabulous place, and the living tradition of West Waterford, folk healing and vernacular traditions. And the concrete is jarring when you come here first, but then you realise it grew out of the community, and now it needs conservation input into it to decide how it'll look for the next 50 years.